Hello, everyone. I'm Matt Pelizzi, and welcome to Sports Talk with Matt and Fred. And I'm your host, Matt Pelizzi. And as soon as I get things figured out here with getting two of us on here, then you'll have my co-host, Fred LaPlante. He'll be back on soon. All right. So, welcome to Sports Talk with Matt and Fred. First off, I just want to say how excited I am that baseball is back. Like, I am so freaking ecstatic. It's not even funny. I absolutely love baseball. And yes, I was mad. And if any of you guys who I'm doing this YouTube video and I'm going to post it everywhere, any of you guys who have heard my podcast, Sports Talk with Matt and Fred, on audio, on Anchor, then you know how big of a baseball fan I am. And I am a Yankee fan. So I am happy that it's back. And now free agency, and the pretty much there's about 25 free agents left. So pretty much, so you pretty much have that. Whew. All right. So I'm excited about baseball. What a game last night for NBA. You had Brooklyn versus Philadelphia. Oh man, did that get heated. And yes, it turned into a blowout because James Harden just totally sat there and went cold. Whew. Yeah, Brooklyn needed that. And Kyrie had a great game. Durant had a great game. Embiid even had a good game, but because Harden went cold and a lot of the offense went cold, so they ended up blowing the Sixers out, but that's a preview of what I believe could be a matchup in the playoffs. So that's that. So that's NBA. I just told you I'm happy about baseball being back. All right, now to the reason that I'm starting to do some of these videos, and like I said, I'm gonna post them everywhere. And pretty much, I wrote down the top 10 quarterbacks that are going to be free agents in a few days here. And I did it with wide receiver, and I also did it with offensive line and running backs, and then defensive line and linebackers. So I'm going to kind of go through the top 10. This video is only for QBs and wide receivers. The next video will be running backs and offensive linemen, and then the next one after that will be defensive linemen and linebackers. So, pretty much I'm going to go through the top 10 of each of these categories, and then I'm going to just kind of say, as I go through each one, where I think they could possibly go, or if they stay with that team. So, here we go. The first quarterback is Jameis Winston. Now, he just played in New Orleans, and he was a backup in New Orleans for a little while, and I think he might have played for a few games. But he kind of learned under Sean Payton, in Sean Payton's system. I would normally say I would think he would stay there, and he may still stay there. But now with Sean Payton gone, I don't know. Where do I think he will go? Who could use a quarterback right now? I mean, there's a bunch of trades going on. So, I mean, anything's possible. Where do I think? You know what? I'll come back to him. I might not know exactly where I think they're going to go. Some of these guys are hard. I mean, some of them are easy. The next one on the list is Teddy Bridgewater. And he just played in Denver. But now that Denver has... actually, now I go back. Jameis Winston or Teddy Bridgewater, either one of these guys could end up in Seattle. Especially maybe Teddy Bridgewater. But I think either one of them could. They could both. One of them, not both, but one of them could sit there and definitely end up in in Seattle. I think that would be a good spot. The other team that one of these guys could play with, actually now I'm thinking about it, is Indy, because Carson Wentz was traded from Indy to uh, where'd they go? To Washington Commanders. So yeah, so that's two possibilities for either one of them to possibly go. Marcus Mariota, he's a free agent. I don't think much of him. I mean, if he goes anywhere, it's going to be a backup role. Like, whereas if we're Jameis Winston, Teddy Bridgewater, at least they can sit there and, uh, yeah, at least they can sit there and start. But Marcus Mariota, yeah, uh, I don't really know. He's going to end up being a backup if he even makes it somewhere in the league. Because I don't even think he's that good. The next on the list is Andy Dalton. Same with him. I mean, he's pretty much a backup. He thinks he's a starter, but I'm sorry, buddy, you're not. You're not a starter. You are what you are, and that's a backup. This one I like. Ryan Fitzpatrick. I would love if he came home to Buffalo and was the backup to Josh Allen. I really think he could do that. Let's see. I'm trying to think here where else he could go. I mean, there's other places he go. He always thinks he's a starter. I mean, he could go to New England. I mean, that's the only AFC East team he hasn't gone with yet. Because he's been with Miami, he's been with the Bills, and with the Jets. So, okay, now there's Mitch Trubisky. And he's another one. Yeah. He seems to be the big name on the free agent list. When they did what is it? When they did the combine, his name of all the free agents was the one that kept coming up. And of what I'm hearing right now is the Giants are very, very interested in him. Now, he would have to go compete and beat out Daniel Jones, and I don't know if he can do that, but he really seems to think that he's a starter. So wherever he goes, and the Giants are the name I keep hearing, then that's where he could end up. Yeah, so there's him. There's Brissett. I think he'll end up going back home to New England. He's been New England or he's been Indy. He's been back and forth with those two teams. I mean, those have been pretty much where he's been. But again, he's a backup. He's not going to be a starter. Tyrod Taylor, he's the same thing. He could go back to the Chargers and just be a backup there. And I don't even know if he ever left there. Then there's Geno Smith. He's a bum. He shouldn't even. Him and Mariota on this list. To me, they'll be lucky if they're third string quarterbacks. They're just. And the same with this guy, Colt McCoy. Yeah, he's the 10th one on the list. So, yeah. So, that's the 10 list. I mean, of these guys that could possibly start, Winston, Bridgewater, Mitch Trubisky, that's about it. Everybody else on this list is a backup. So, good luck to you all. Now we'll do the wide receivers real quick. Devontae Adams, he was tagged, and Godwin was tagged. So if you're gonna get them, you're gonna have to trade for them, and you're gonna have to give up like major first round picks. So to me, they're staying where they're at. Devontae Adams is staying in the Packers, and Godwin's staying with Tampa Bay. Mike Williams, he's already signed. Allen Robinson, now that's a good receiver. I wouldn't mind having him on my team. Allen Robinson, you could use him as your second or third guy. He didn't really do that well this past year, but I mean, look, he didn't have much. He actually did good with Mitchell Trubisky. So maybe wherever Mitchell Trubisky went, then he could sit there and go. So yeah. Gallup, I expect him to stay with the Cowboys. I think they really want him. OBJ, of everything I've heard, he's going to stay with the Rams. Antonio Brown, he's hoping. I don't know how you could take him back after the bull that he did with the Tampa Bay and with other teams that he's been. To me, I just think what he's done is too much. But we're not talking about that right now. He's been talking to the Rams, and he's been sitting there talking to them. So he's trying to stay there. They believe he'll stay there. That's OBJ that will stay with the Rams. Antonio Brown has been talking to the Ravens and has been talking about joining up with Lamar Jackson. And he's also been talking to the Cowboys. So yeah, there's that. Then there's Juju. Yeah, he's with the Steelers. I wouldn't mind having him as my third receiver either for my team, but we'll have to see what happens. Christian Kirk. Now that's a good one. I really think this kid is got the potential to be really, really good. So yeah, I don't know where he'll end up. Yeah, I don't know where Juju will end up, but I mean, I've heard New England for Juju. Smith Schuster. Christian Kirk. He's definitely an intriguing name. And then there's DJ Shark, who I'm not even sure who that is. I think he's a rookie, on a rookie deal. Was on a rookie deal, so I think you know what? He's with Jacksonville. That's who I think he's with. So yeah, that's pretty much what I did this video for, other than talking about sports too. I talked about baseball, I talked about the NBA game. Alright, so I'm going to do a couple more videos of these top free agents. Probably, see, the free agency starts next week, so I want to do it before then. So, probably one tomorrow and one Sunday. I don't know. Also, Sunday is Selection Sunday for NCAA March Madness, my favorite time of the year, bracket time. So I think what I'm going to do, I haven't decided if I'm going to do a video like this live while I'm watching it or what I'm going to do. So I'll either do it through the Anchor podcast live or I'll do it like this and just record it and send it out that way live as they're doing and then I can tell everyone what teams made it, what teams didn't, what I think. We did this last year. We just did it through the podcast. So yeah. I hope everyone likes this video, and I hope everyone has a great day. And please, I'm going to put this on my YouTube page, Sports Talk with Matt and Fred. I'm also going to post it all over social media, wherever I can, Facebook, any of those places. Maybe I'll even send it some of your messenger places too, like I usually do with the podcast. So yeah, this is Sports Talk with Matt and Fred. I'm your host, Matt Palizzi, and what we always say, see ya!